Hi, and welcome to the Rooted Wisdom Ecofeminist Tarot Guide PowerPoint. So, in this PowerPoint, we are going to understand rooted wisdom, look at and explore what is ecofeminism, explore the cards, and conclusion. Now, for the exploring the cards and the conclusion, we will go over that on Zoom live. However, for this part of the video, we are going to understand rooted wisdom and also look at what the idea of ecofeminism is. So, understanding the cards. So, take a moment to pause and reflect. What do you think about when you hear the concept rooted wisdom? Thinking about those two words and perhaps how they come together. So, the title of the deck comes from the idea that wisdom is rooted in the earth, as opposed to a rationalist viewpoint that wisdom comes from above, from the heavens, from a male god, and from the rational mind. Rooted wisdom is implying a wisdom rooted in the ground. Several ecofeminist writers have written about this nature human divide, with rationality connected with masculinity and emotions connected with the feminine. These scholars have explored the implications of this splitting of the mind body and how the body is often seen as less than, as opposed to the mind. Hogan, a Chickasaw author and environmentalist, comments on these implications and states that the Western belief that God lives apart from Earth is one that has taken us towards collective destruction. So, in order to challenge this belief of separation from the earth, the name rooted wisdom was selected to honor that knowledge comes from the earth. And take a moment to read this quote by Bell Hooks from her chapter Earthbound on Solid Ground. In the end, she states, we can create and sustain environments where we can come back to ourselves, where we can return home, stand on solid ground, and be a true witness. So, this quote is articulating a key point in the tarot deck and dissertation. By connecting with nature through tarot, I hope to create a space for individuals to come back to ourselves and stand on solid ground. Not one that is found in the heavens or in a masculine god, but one that comes from connecting with the earth as a source of knowledge, insight, and wisdom. A wisdom rooted beneath us and that's available at any given moment to tune into. This is opposing the Western rationality that humans are separated from nature and instead proposing a wisdom that is intricately bound and connected in the web of life. So, my thesis for my dissertation is that in response to the ecological crisis and our continued objectification of women and other marginalized individuals, my project is seeking to make ecofeminism accessible and impactful. So, my idea is to incorporate tarot as a learning tool through the lens of ecofeminism and to see if that can create meaningful and transformative learning experiences by connecting these theories with symbols, images, and reflective exercises. A brief note on terminology. In this PowerPoint, I used the term man in italics following the work of Sylvia Wynter and Jane Caputi. Man does not mean all men. Instead, it's naming an ideology of oppression, a patriarchal, colonial, and capitalist worldview that's elevating a particular group as superior and positioning itself outside the web of life. And this justification allows for these groups to exploit women, marginalized people, and the Earth's resources. When I use man in italics, that's what I'm referring to in the guidebook, in the readings, etc., not to individual men. And this picture from Taylor Swift is identifying this man archetype that I'm speaking towards. So pause and take a moment. What is your relationship with tarot? Did you explore it growing up? Did you explore it as an adult? Or is this your first time interacting with cards? For the reading I'm going to do with individuals, I'll be doing a 3-card pull, looking at past, present, and future. The past will show us roots and inheritance. So, inner patterns, ancestral or ecological histories you might carry, personal memory, and how collective history has shaped the ground you are currently standing on. We'll look at your past here. In order for us to understand your present, how are you currently living in relation to yourself, to others, and to the earth? Notice where you're aligned with care and reciprocity and where imbalance or resistance appears. And looking at your future. So, where is growth possible? What does your future look like? And what are some seeds that you can plant now? Before doing this reading, pause and take a moment to think about what is your relationship with ecofeminism? Have you heard this term before, or is it your first time interacting with the term? What do eco and feminism have in common and together? So, this is the first card in my tarot deck, the Ecofeminist, along with a quote from Gard. Gard states that ecofeminism's basic premise is that the ideology, which authorizes oppression, such as those based on race, class, gender, sexuality, physical abilities, and species, is the same ideology that sanctions the oppression of nature. Ecofeminism is calling for an end to both, arguing that no attempt to liberate women or any other oppressed group will be successful without an equal attempt to liberate nature. At its core, ecofeminism recognizes that the domination of nature and the oppression of marginalized groups share the same roots. It exposes how systems of power that exploit the earth also exploit women and other marginalized communities, and calls for relationships based on care, reciprocity, and respect. This card is featuring a snail shell, an oceanic circle, pressed flower, and human with roots connecting them to the ground, and grass collage imagery. This individual could be interpreted as a woman holding up the earth. As many ecofeminists and environmental scholars have argued, women and other marginalized individuals are impacted disproportionately by the ongoing climate and environmental crisis and are often left carrying the weight of the earth on their shoulders. This picture was designed with this in mind. This card is asking the reader to reflect on their relationship with the earth and other beings. So pause for a moment. Do you view the earth as a living being that's breathing, or are there elements of the earth that you take for granted? If so, how can ecofeminist theories help you with fostering a relationship and connection with the earth and other beings? In the next step, you'll be working with me to explore the cards. So thank you for listening to this part of the presentation, and I hope you enjoy.